Hey everyone, Dylan here, and in today's video I'm going to go over my top 5 favorite, well, not my top 5 favorite, but top 5 ranked kind of seasons. And so we will start with my number 5. Number 5 is winter. So last week, if you didn't see it, I'll put it in a card. I did a video of why I hate winter. So obviously this one would be my least favorite, and it would be in the bottom spot. I'm not really going to go into detail about the deep reasons why I hate winter. You can watch that video, and yeah. But other than just the main reason, it's cold. I live in Indiana. It's cold. It snows. It sucks. So, those are, the basic, the bare bones reasons. But like I said, there's more to it why I really hate winter. But, so, number 5 is winter. And we'll just quickly move on to number 4 where I can talk more about, my number 4. My number 4th favorite season. And I think these will probably be similar to most people's and what they feel. But number 4 is summer. Oh, just like we can have pretty cold winters. It can get pretty hot here. And so, summer is great sometimes. At least it's not cold, I guess. But it just gets so hot so quickly. And I don't know. Because if I didn't have the reasons why I actually hate winter, I would probably maybe put winter above summer. But then again, I don't know. I guess I still like summer more regardless. One memory I have of something of why, whenever I get a place to live or whatever, I will never get a place that does not have air conditioning, because I moved in with my girlfriend and her mom and her brother. I moved in with her when we were dating. And I lived with her for a little while, but the house they lived in, the bedroom that we stayed in that she had, sucked so bad. And here's why. That house did not have air. Apparently someone stole the air unit outside or whatever. So the house had heat, but we didn't have air. So already right then and there, it was burning hot. But it got even worse because the bedroom we were in had one window. It just had one window. And so you might be like, okay, well, you only have one window, so you can't really get much of a breeze. Okay, well, why don't you put an air conditioner in it? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the windows were also small. They were very small and could not fit an air conditioner. So on top of no air, one window, it's small, and we cannot put a normal air conditioner in. And so also, there were no trees on that side of the house, so when the sun blasted that, window in the wall there was nothing blocking it, so we fried. The only thing we had was, a fan, and the fan, if the air was just hot, it would just be blowing us with hot air, and it was miserable. I even once bought a, standing air conditioner that didn't go in the thing because we were so desperate, and it wasn't that good. I paid $130 for it or something, and you had to keep filling it up with water, and it was pushing the air out. It didn't really cool the room down. It didn't really do much of anything. It's kind of eh. I did do one thing once. I threw a blanket over top of it so it would blast me directly, and only then was it kind of decent, but it wasn't very good. So we suffered. It sucked. I would much rather sleep cold than hot, because not only when I'm trying to sleep and I get hot, I will get so irritated and mad that it'll then I'll get even hotter. It'll make it even harder to sleep. I just can't sleep when I'm really hot. I hate it, so I'd much rather sleep cold than hot. And that's why I'm not that big of a fan of summer. I just have those memories of frying without air. I don't know. If it's warm but not hot, it can be somewhat enjoyable for a nice change. So I'm not going to say I always hate summer, but for the majority, it's really hot and just not enjoyable. But that's why it's my number 4, you know. You can enjoy it once in a while when the conditions are right, but otherwise I don't. I didn't think I'd go that long about summer, but I had to tell a little story about not having any air and just like frying. So yeah, we'll not get a house without air conditioning. That's for sure. But next I will go to my number 3. So my number 3 has kind of fallen a little bit. I probably should have did research on which one rains more. I honestly don't know, but so on my number 3 is fall. I actually really like fall, but how kind of fall is you're going from hot to cooler. And so you're going from a very hot temperature to a cooler temperature, and it can be really nice, and you see the nice leaves falling off, the colorful leaves. Believe it or not, I like the air in fall, that not too cold but not too hot, in between, nice fresh air that you get from fall. I really like the smell of that, the smell of all the leaves on the ground. You know, it all of course makes you think of Halloween, and like I said, just all the nice pretty leaves. Since I'm blind, I can't enjoy seeing all the leaves and the colors of the leaves. Can't enjoy that now, but I still get like the smelling sensation. I can still smell the leaves all around me, and I still get that fall feeling, and it's still like pretty enjoyable. And of course, it's going into the cold, so it does get colder. So that's kind of a bummer, and it's going towards my least favorite season. So between that and, you know, it does rain a bit in fall. I would probably say maybe fall would be more of my favorite season if I could still see the leaves and just a couple things. But fall and spring are pretty close together, you know. But fall just falls a little bit short. I'll see myself out. Anyways, so then my number 2 is spring. And spring is a lovely time of the year. It's when we're finally getting away. We're getting away from the cold, and we're getting into some really good weather. You get excited, right? You get more excited going into spring than you do like going into fall. Because with fall, you know, oh crap, it's going to get cold. But when you go to spring, you're like, oh man, it's warming up. It's getting better. We're getting out of this stupid freaking winter. And so that's why I really like spring. Also, like spring, you know, it rains a lot in spring. But, you know, you could, everything growing back, all the plants, the trees, it's all growing back. You have the nice fresh smell of all the plants, and you know, you can have really nice, perfect days, and it's really nice. I really like spring, as long as when it's not raining, of course. But, so yeah, that's kind of like my number 2 is spring. I said fall could be interchangeable, but just spring's a little bit ahead of fall. What is wrong with me? I don't normally make jokes like this, like outside of videos, but like in real life, I actually... well, I guess this still is real life for me, but I like actually make a lot of jokes off camera to people, and like my girlfriend wants to kill me all the time because I make stupid jokes, but hey, you gotta make yourself laugh and make life enjoyable, right? So, yeah. Anyways, so that's my number 2 is spring. But my number 1, my numero uno, and you might be like, Dylan, how can you have a 5 or a top 5 or a 5 ranked video when there are only 4 seasons? And to that I say you are correct. There are only 4 seasons. But my number 1 favorite season is when we get spring or fall for more than a week. So here in dumb Indiana, I might put this in a card too, where I talk about Indiana's weather. I don't know if I'll put that one in or not. But I might, where I talk about how stupid Indiana's weather is. I might rehash it here. But Indiana, when you go from winter to spring, it's like, oh man, it's warming up. You have that perfect, 60 to 65, 66 degree weather. it's not cold, but it's not hot. It feels good. It's so nice. You get a nice little breeze in there. Perfect day. I love to skateboard on days like that. Perfect day, perfect weather. You get that kind of in spring and in fall. But in Indiana, you don't get it for very long. You suffer through the cold winter. And you're like, oh, yay, spring. 3 days of spring, and then, oh man, it's burning hot. Summer's coming in real hot. Like, we might get lucky and get maybe like a week of spring or fall. And then it gets bad. It gets hot or like cold. So it's dominated by winter and summer, unfortunately. So like, and also like you go from summer, it's like, oh man, it's burning hot. Oh man, it's starting to cool down. The weather's nice. Oh God, I'm freezing. And then like on top of it, you get the rain with all that. And, I would just like to have a couple months of actual spring and actual fall. But here in Indiana, we don't get that, You get 1 week of spring and like 1 week of fall if you're lucky. So I know it kind of like, well, that's not really another season for number one, but it is for me. It's a personal thing. A personal thing for me. And I wanted to make this a top 5. And top 4 just does not sound as good as top 5. So hopefully you understand. But yeah, that has been my kind of like top 5 ranked, seasons, and one that's technically not a season, but kind of a season and what I want for my season. Man, screw you, Indiana. We got crap weather and cornfields and fields. That's what we got. But anyways, let me know in the comments down below what your guys' favorite seasons are. If you feel the same sentiment or have any idea what I'm talking about not getting very much spring or not getting much fall. If you experience that, or maybe hell, maybe it's the Midwest thing and you experience it there as well. I don't know, but just let me know, and let me know what your favorites are and all that good stuff in the comments below. But yeah, thank you guys for watching and thank you guys for listening. I will see you in the next video.